Still in your pajamas with a bed head and a half scraggly beard. For us as human beings, we want to say yes every single time we're asked a question. Because we don't want to give rejection as much as we don't want to receive it. But we have to make it harder to say no. And even if we're still told no, that way we now have the knowledge that we did everything we could to get yes. And can move on. Alright, I said we were going to talk about suicide. Let's take a look at some suicide intervention the wrong way and the right way. Because, Starlight, I hate you for this.
Into a million pieces!
Suicides often begin with a form of rejection. That is to say, you have a fight,
Come on!
you have a broken relationship,
The pathetic and friendless
or you
Trixie.
lose
Way to
someone in
go,
your life
Dum-Dum.
in
You
some other
really
way.
messed it up this time. Repentance tour.
That's a cry for help.
It's a working title.
That's a blatant cry for help.
Behold, your fears come true. A pony
The
is
audience
a
should realize
magical.
something's wrong. She normally does a lot of flair when she's presenting these things.
For tonight, the great and powerful Trixie will be performing the Moonshot Manticore Meltdive. Now, save your gasps for when I defy the beast's jaws of doom and appear inside that black box.
Remember, she can't do this trick.
With my great and powerful
The audience might not know that, but Starlight does.
Great and powerful friend.
Starlight, when I
Also, yes, they're literally called pony-eating manticores for a
my
reason.
own decisions and my own friends. I need
This
to-
is not how you deal with this.
I shouldn't have tried to.
You do not try to fix your own problem first. Twilight, you're being stupid.
You have to make
Starlight,
your
you're
own
bad.
friends and your own friends.
I'm actually mad about this episode,
What
can you
if
tell?
Trixie really was using me just to one-up you? From what I've seen, she's the real thing.
You're letting her put herself into the position to die,
It's all up to you.
and you're not intervening yet.
Starlight, if you're out there and you still want to be friends, let's be great and powerful together.
By the way, no one actually wants to die. They simply want the pain to stop. Granted, that is an incredibly painful way to go. Considering that in less than 5 seconds she has that much damage to her clothing and is barely conscious, I would estimate that she has about 1 minute before she's completely nothing but manticore poop. Yes, I said poop. That is not how you do a suicide intervention. You do not deal with your bullshit first. You stop the act. You can deal with the other stuff later. You can't save the life later. Now, let's see this done correctly.
You decide something?
I keep all my original clips from research. The only way I could get this episode at the time when this panel was created was with Russian subtitles.
Be here to be turned into a statue if Twilight hadn't cast a spell in the first place.
Whoa, I thought you were arguing over ice cream flavors.
The answer is still no. Why would you want to be turned into stone?
Because I'm a relic of a bygone
Twilight is
age.
allowing him to
Belong
convince
to
her that
museum.
this is okay.
Safe, reserved, untouched. I don't belong in this time. It's
Sometimes you are the worst
right?
princess. I want you to know
There has to be a
that.
better way.
Twilight, please understand. I want to be remembered as the hero I was, not the disappointment I've become.
But you're not. Rockov, wait!
Nice attempt, but you should physically stop him.
Turned into stone.
Best creature!
You did not believe it.
Stop the
I'm
act.
afraid it's true.
Physically, if necessary.
All you need finish first the major story for class.
It's sweet.
Call the
we
cops if
decide
you have to, but stop the act physically.
But I'm afraid old stories like mine aren't worth anything in this day and age.
Fine. If Pony no wants to
Explain what they mean to you.
Pony's story.
Show them that they mean something
When
important.
Yona comes to Pony school, Yona not fit in. Pony way strange, but Yona find friends. Yona meet Professor Rocker. Pony brave and strong as yak, not afraid, hero. When Yona grow up, Yona wants to be just like Professor Rocker.
Well,
Give them a reason to spend time with you.
Writing something that nice. I suppose the least I could do is tell you the rest of the story.
And then give them a new purpose in life.
Now all want to hear story. Okay.
That is 9 months to 9 years of therapy in 2 minutes. That is how you stop a suicide and stop it for good. Physically stop the act. Explain what they mean to you. Get them to go do something else with you. And then over time, give them a new reason to stay. Because an unfinished task is one of the greatest motivations to stay alive. Yak, best creature. Period.
Agreed. No one else yak.
Now I'm going to talk about some stuff a little less serious and bring it back down. There are a bunch of you who are Fluttershy's. I'm not going to make you raise your hands. That's rude. You're socially anxious. This is kind of what I expect, from you and to happen to you on a regular basis.
I've never heard you sing a solo like that before. It was like a little slap.
People give you praise for things you do.
And
And you get really nervous and self-conscious.
I believe your spectacular voice isn't part of the Ponytones quartet. Well, especially since you're having us perform for your Ponyville Pet Center fundraiser tomorrow night. Well, you see...
And then people try to push you into a situation you're not ready for.
Fine. You must share that stunning voice of yours.
Come on, Rarity, calm down. Pinkie Pie, no. Pinkie Pie, stop being an asshole.
The center of attention, a shining star, with every pony staring at you, judging you, jealously noting how big...
Pinkie Pie! Knock it off!
And then, when you check, they'll turn on you, becoming a seething...
No, she knows perfectly what she's doing. This is being a dick.
Pinkie Pie!
Now,
Rarity hits her.
with time and effort, this is the important part. People who are socially anxious require a familiar safety net to go into social situations. What that means is you hold their bloody hand. You stand behind them and let them know, I'm here. If you need to hide, I'm a body shield. And you push them very gradually, very gently to go do the things they want to do, and you do them with them. They're your friend. You want them to see them happy and you want them to do the stuff they want to do. You do the activity with them. Sometimes you might not like it, but part of being a friend is sometimes doing stuff as a compromise. We're gonna go down Splash Mountain. But in exchange, you're coming with me to go do the Viper Loop. I don't like Viper Loops, but I really like Splash Mountain, but I don't want to take either ride by myself. Now, slowly but surely, they will stop using that safety net. They will work their way to be their own person. And you end up with this.
What did you say?
No.
Oh, I hate to be you right now, because I
They learn to be assertive.
will the hurt unless Iron will get his money. Pronto!
As I recall, during your workshop you promised 100% satisfaction...
This is a 5-season arc.
I'm not satisfied.
What do you mean you're not satisfied? Every pony has always been satisfied.
Well, I guess I'm the first then. But since I'm not satisfied, I refuse to pay. It's as simple as that.
I couldn't believe this!
Either.
Are you sure you're not just a little bit satisfied? Because maybe we could cut a deal. I mean, we're both reasonable creatures, aren't we?
I'm sorry, but no means no.
It actually does!
No, huh? Nobody's ever said that to me before. Huh. I gotta remember that one. That's a good catchphrase for my next workshop.
Slowly, they will become more and more assertive. They'll go do activities on their own, even without you. They will take steps, and you shouldn't be mad or feel like they've abandoned you. They've decided that they don't have to have a safety net anymore to go enjoy the things they want to do. They step forward and they say, this is my thing now. It can take months, years, a lifetime. But eventually, so long as you're there for them and teach them that they don't have to be afraid, they will eventually stop being afraid. That's how you overcome social anxiety. It took Fluttershy 5 seasons from 8 different episodes to get to that point. I'm not saying anybody had a plan, they didn't. But somebody was paying attention. I don't have a clip for this one. Listen, dirty shippers. Dirty shippers. You can ship fictional characters all you want. I don't care. Don't ship your friends, please. 88.6% of people who end up in couples and marriage counseling, because couples counseling is for people who aren't married, were hooked up by their friends. Look, just because you think two people who know each other are perfect for each other does not mean they are. They have to decide that. Love happens. Love takes time to develop. Because you have a crush, you have experimentation, you have lust, and then eventually, if they go through compromise and understanding, they get to love. Just because you think two people are good, they're probably not. There's a reason why they're not dating. Please don't hook up your friends. Also, Cutie Mark Crusaders, that's technically a crime. I know. Now, how many of you have a regular day job? Thank you for making it where I don't. But this is probably what it feels like when you clock in every morning. Am I wrong? You have to wear a uniform. You have to wear a name tag. This is what it feels like. It sucks. And this is what it feels like when you clock out. Or you work at what's called a functional workplace.
Whoa, these are my old skis. This is where I first met Starlight.
Maybe you can reminisce another time. She's almost to the cave.
If you are in charge of any number of employees, this is a lesson for you. Whether it be 5 or 500. Their unique talents, let them save the day. Not everyone being the same. Who thinks the secret to keeping employees is to pay them more money? Good, you're all educated. Well, one person isn't. I'm not going to call you out. The secret is actually making them happy. Did you know that 70-something% of employees will take a lower paying job if they're happy to be there? Did you know that that happiness can come in the form of letting them hang up a poster, wearing a pin, or some other method to decorate themselves, or not having to wear a bloody uniform? Wait? Yeah. Uniformity and corporatism is not for everybody. As a matter of fact, it's not for the vast majority of us. We would be significantly happier if we could wear clothes we actually like. Wearing pins and decorating your clothes should be allowed. I don't care if your office looks like a Metallica edgy concert reject. Do you get the job done? Are you happy to be here? Whatever. Do it. My artists all the time expect me to be rigid and have like details and keep deadlines and everything, and I'm like, you guys have 2 weeks. If you don't get it done in 2 weeks, ask for an extension. I don't care. I want you to do the work I want you to do the work the way you want to do it. Some of my artists, like Bivani, will deliver a sketch and then deliver a full-blown rain animation that's hand-drawn using cell shading of 24 hours, and I think she's crazy. Others of my artists are supposed to deliver 2 pieces of artwork per month and only deliver 1. But both of them are extremely high quality, and I can't argue with the result. I don't care how you work. It's not my place to care. My place is only to care about the end result. And that you're happy doing what you're doing. I have 6 artists. But because of the work conditions I provide them, I pay 25% less on average than their normal commission rates to the public. Because not because that's what I offered them, but because they asked me, since I'm a more consistent customer who pays them up front, if I wanted a discount. And I said I'd appreciate it, but they don't have to give it to me. 5 out of 6 of them gave me a discount. And I still give them a raise every 3 months. If I can afford it. If I can't afford it, it's every 6 months. Work with the people that you have. Figure out how to make them happy, and figure out how to tell corporate to go get shoved. Because you run a happy, efficient workplace. I don't care if they want to wear a giant pin on their chest. If it makes them happy and it doesn't interfere with their work, what's the problem? Don't be these two. Please. Find the balance. Don't be I don't feel anything, baka. And at the same time, don't be I want to get in touch with my emotion. No. Find balance. Find the middle ground. Please. There's a time and place for expressing emotion and a time and place for being stalwart. Find that place. Also, Spike, why did you create your own problem? Never mind, that's an answer for later.
Because he's Spike.
Little white lies don't hurt, do they? Santa Claus is real! You thought this was going to be Applejack, didn't you?
Pinkie Pie, wait! I know now that I should have been honest with you from the start, because lying to your friends is wrong. And because getting rid of all those pies was a giant hassle. I mean, do you have any idea how many pies you've made for me over the years? Yes, I know exactly how many. I have a very detailed piling system. Of course you do. The point
That
is,
pun was worth it. I don't care what anybody says.
spare your feelings.
Quality.
But I was wrong. So, to make up for it...
However, in this episode, hearing gay, lesbian, rainbow horse scream, I don't like pie, was priceless.
For me to eat in front of me. Point is,
And that is
I'm
terrible.
eating this pie for
And
fun.
so is that pie.
Wait, that smelly circular monstrosity is a pie? Yeah!
There's a second
I know I
point
can't
here
go
that you
back
have
to
to
the other pies you
understand.
made for me in the past, so instead, I'm gonna eat this giant one for you now. So, here I go!
Also, once again, Pinkie Pie's house will completely defy the laws of physics.
Wait! I can't watch you do this! Is that crust or some kind of concrete? Yeah, honestly, I have no idea. Oh, I can't believe you're willing to
So there are two lessons to take away from here. One, little white lies hurt. If I cook something for you and you don't like it, you should tell me because I don't want to cook it for you again if you don't like it. That's simple. Two, this is the important one. Grand gestures are meaningless without the substance behind them or change. You have to be willing to change for your friends. You have to be willing to apologize and make the adjustment. You have to be willing to say, I need to do better. I wrote 3 entire novels on the basis of do better. Not do your best. Not try. Just do better. I don't care how. Little white lies do hurt. They build up to big problems later because it's the little things, it's the tiny, itty bitty things that grind against you every day that end relationships. Talk about them, figure it out, and admit that sometimes you just were trying to avoid hurting someone's feelings when in the long term, that's the worst thing you could have done. Now we're going to jump back into some serious notes. Well, not quite. I was wrong. We're going to talk about Pinkie Pie and babysitting. We're going to talk about children. Oh, wait, this is going to get really serious really quick, isn't it?
Yes.
How do you understand kids? Anybody know? No? I didn't think so. Because I really don't either, but I do have a basic understanding. This is chaos. Why does crying make the kids realize that Pinkie Pie has a problem with what they're doing? No, actually, but close. Why do they think that makes it better?
You're right. That is funny.
No, there's a completely different reason. And it's the understanding of children. And it's why we refer to the innocence of children. We as human beings have to understand that children get 2 emotions at birth. Joy and sadness. That's it. Those are the 2 most basic emotions in existence. And that's how children understand the world. Does this make me happy? Does this make me sad? That's all they get. We as adults have a range of complex, developed emotions. But when you're trying to explain it to a child, you have to come down to their level and bring it to them. You can't bring them up to you. They haven't developed like you have yet. You have to come down to their level. Some children might get emotions like pride and love and envy and joy, not just happiness, but actual joy or other things that you might have to describe to them. Some don't. You have to figure out where each individual child that you interact with is when you're trying to explain your feelings to them. Some children get anger. Some children don't. But anger is also tied to things like frustration and annoyance, which are definitely different emotions. I can be frustrated and not actually angry. I can be annoyed at you but not mad at you. That's a different, complex thing. And kids don't get that. We as adults need to come to them. And you will find children so much easier to interact with if you understand how to break down what you're feeling and what you're trying to explain to them as joy or sadness. Those are the only 2 emotions that you know for sure that they'll get. That's why they decide to stop when Pinkie Pie starts crying. Because they understand that emotion. They understand that Pinkie Pie is sad. And that's why they think pouring flour on themselves will make her happy. Because they find that makes them happy and ends their sadness. Bet you didn't know the show was going to teach you how to parent. Now, I have not seen my wife in 2 years. Thanks, COVID. I might not see her still because I was supposed to leave Monday to go to England directly from here. I'm being informed that England may be going into lockdown, which means I might get to the airport and be told, you're stuck in Columbus. Good luck. I might get to JFK, get ready to show my passport to leave the country, and be told, so sad, turn around.
You were in this place. You? No. You sent me to Ponyville, which means it's time for me to send Starlight Glimmer away.
But every time I have to go home, back to the States, or every time she has to go back to England,
It really is time for
it's
Starlight
this.
to go, isn't it?
It's this
Only you
every
can
time.
make that decision. It's a difficult one, but your heart knows what's right, even as it hurts.
Where are you gonna send her?
Too soon?
Yes, Spike, too soon.
No. This is something I have to do. Oh boy. Oh boy!
The harder and harder you grip something, the more it slips through your fingers.
I do actually have some good news regarding that. There's an article on here that says that they won't be locking down before Christmas.
We'll see. That's a big we'll see. Because the Netherlands is locking down on Wednesday. They've already told everybody to come home.
Good luck.
France is locking down on Thursday. They've already told everybody to come home. South Africa's already locked down. But in the meantime, I have to let her live her life. She's on vacation for sabbatical before she does her internship to be a veterinarian. I can't every single hour of every single day check on her, and she can't do that to me, or the two of us can't do anything. If she checked on me every single hour of every single day, it would interrupt this panel that I'm giving you right now. I have to let her have her life, and she has to let me have mine. Even if we lived under the same household, under the same roof, 24/7, that would still be true. Of your friends, lovers, associates, employees, it doesn't matter. Every relationship you have, you are one facet of many relationships that that person has, whether it's to their dog, their toaster, their mother, or their best friend. You have to let them live their life and make their mistakes. We as humans learn from our mistakes 10 times faster than we do from getting it right. My job as your friend is to be your safety net and catch you when you screw up and advise you when you ask me, not to stop you in the first place. And that's so hard to learn that balance. And if you truly are best friends, lovers, or what have you, when you see each other again, you'll pick up like no time has passed. I've ragged Brony Critic at least 7 times this weekend, and we've just been friends. We haven't seen each other since last TrotCon, and we haven't spoken to each other since sometime in 2020. It's the end of 2021, and we still act like a day hasn't passed. We're actual friends, and that's something we have to remember. Now, I've added a couple slides to this panel since 2019, and even a couple clips. This isn't one of them. That's the wrong clip, as usual. I always forget. These clips are mislabeled.
Said that in 2019
And I'm
too.
being upset.
Yeah, I never fixed it because it's entertaining.
Guys, stop it.
I'm not perfect.
Or maybe whoever did it is only pretending to be upset to throw us off. Me? But I didn't!
Come on, let it go.
Come on! Ocellus, you know you did it. Just mess up.
I said stop fighting! That's not what the holidays are about. No matter what you call them, or how you celebrate. Do you know how lucky you all are? With your stories about sharing and kindness and getting together with every creature that you care about?
This is important.
Griffins do that too, don't they?
Christmas is next week.
Holiday about a moon?
Hanukkah ends at the end of this
Blue Moon
week.
Festival. The one time of year when
Ramadan ends in
nice.
2 weeks.
Well, as nice as we can be. Families get together to eat and then complain about the food and give each other presents they don't like and mostly just try not to yell at each other.
Well, at least you get to be with your family.
This is a very important note.
Because I don't have a family.
Gallus was an unwanted ward of the state that they decided to get rid of.
That's just his name. He's not any
To
good.
a school they were convinced would fail.
Felt like I never had a place in Griffinstone.
Think about that.
And I came here and, well, met all of you. So I don't want to go home for the break. And that's why I did it.
At the time of the show's debut, the target age was between 8 and 11. That age changed to 8 and 10, and then 8 to 12. Which is kind of weird to say, but they actually changed the age range between seasons. The point here is this. It's 2021, almost 2022. Where are those kids now? They're freshmen to juniors in college. 1 in 3 college students don't go home for Christmas. Or the holidays, whatever they celebrate. You want to get more real? ER rooms have a 180% spike between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Between suicide, domestic violence, and accidents. Three weeks ago, I was officially released from my NDA from the military. Everything I've done is now requestable by the Freedom of Information Act. Which means I can say this. 11 years ago, a group of 19 guys got together, missing one person because none of us bothered to check. We got together on Christmas Eve, had a party, had a great time. Half of us were plastered. We passed out together. We made sure everyone woke up the next morning for Christmas and exchanged gifts. While we were exchanging gifts, our captain walked in, looked at all of us, and then announced that my spotter was found dead on his floor because no one invited him. He drank himself to death. And if one of the 19 of us had bothered to say a damn thing, he might still be alive.